Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday the 16th of March 2021. Today we're going to be doing a preview of tomorrow's game against Queen's Park Rangers. Here we go, this is from News at 10 and I'm bringing this up because they have a stat in here which pretty shocking. You wouldn't think of it, but when you think of Mill's bogey teams, you wouldn't think about QPR, but apparently we haven't won away at Queen's Park Rangers 32 years. Now it pretty sounds better than worse than it is, because obviously they've been in Premier League for a lot of the time, and we were in League One, and then Championship, and then League One, and then Championship. But I think it's still something like 7 or 8 games. So that is pretty serious. You wouldn't think that QPR are a bogey team, although there was a quarterfinals of the League Cup. They did us, and that was that kind of unrailed our season. It was like the peak, and after that, the team went on a downward slide. I'm pretty sure. So this is from news@then.co.uk. It says Mill will be without their 2 main target men as they attempt to win Queen's Park Rangers for the first time in more than 32 years. So Matt Smith's got a broken 4 and Kenneth Zohore's out. And the Lions are out without Ryan Leonard, Conor Mahoney, and Mikael Keftenbeld. Although the club put up pictures of them training on, I think it was on Twitter, it may have been on the OS as well. So some of them are doing more training than others. I think Zohore and Keftenbeld are just doing jogging, and the others were involved in the actual drills. It says Mario Wallace should be available. It says Millwall's aim now is to try to finish in the top 10 in consecutive seasons in the second tier, which would be the first time since 2005 when Dennis Wise managed the team. It says Mill's record against QPR over 3 decades is abysmal. They have won just 2 of the last 19 games between the two sides. So even at the Den we haven't had... Wow. 2 wins from 19 games in home and away. But we haven't won at Loftus Road since February 1989, when we were in the first division, and so were they. Wow, so 2 wins in 19 games. When you think of bogey teams, you won't think of QPR. It would never cross my head that they were a bogey team for us. But apparently they are. We just can't win against them. What is that? 2 in 19 is... That's 10%, isn't it? Yeah, 10%. Wow, we've only won 10% of our last 19 games, roughly, against QPR. That is absolutely abysmal. Okay, it says we're in a similar situation to QPR, basically not getting relegated and not going up. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you that about how bad our record was against them. This is from the man himself, David Protton. There he is. Doesn't even look handsome with his hair and his suit. And he gives these predictions of the championship games every week. And he predicts for the game tomorrow. He predicts QPR 1, Millwall 1, and I don't know if you know this. If you do, the game will be on Sky Sports Red Button. Sky Sports Red Button. If you have Sky, you will not need to pay for an iFollow subscription unless you want to, because it helps out the club. That's up to you. But if you're already paying for Sky, why would you pay for iFollow? I completely understand. It's on the Red Button. And if it's on the Red Button, there will probably be a naughty stream, but again, that's up to you. Moving on. So we've got 1-1 from David Prutton. What does the WhoScored.com predict? So here's WhoScored.com. So we can see the last 6 games at Loftus Road. We can see pretty bad for Millwall. 4-3 to QPR, 2-0 to QPR, 2-2, 1-1, 0-0, and 1-0 to QPR. And we've had 2 red cards in those games. And like I said, we haven't played them that often. Like the 6th game there is in 2006. So that's like 15 years ago. So we don't play them that often because they were in the Premier League or we were in League One. So that explains why we haven't beaten them at Loftus Road in 32 years. But still, that's yeah, still not good, is it? So form. Who are the form team? This is the standings as in the league table as they stand. We're 10th on 49 points, and they are 3 points below us, but in 14th. And in the form table, you can see last 6 games pretty similar. We're in 14th, they're in 16th. We've lost 2 of our last 6 and won 2 of our last 6, and drawn 2 of our last 6. But they have lost 3 of their last 6 and won 2 of their last 6. So pretty similar. So you can see why what's his face went with 1-1. Let's move on. You can see down here. QPR's strengths: attacking down the wings, defending set pieces. QPR's weaknesses: defending against attacks down the wing, stopping opponents from creating chances, aerial duels. Shane Matt Smith's out then, isn't it? Defending counter attacks, very weak. Oh dear, I think we're gonna see what we saw the other day with one up front, Mason Bennett, and them just pumping balls over the top, counter attacking. Oh God. Millwall's strengths: shooting from direct free kicks, creating long shot opportunities, coming back from losing positions, creating scoring chances, aerial duels, protecting the lead, stealing the ball from the opposition. Millwall's weaknesses: keeping possession of the ball, finishing scoring chances, avoiding fouling in dangerous areas, and very weak at defending against long shots. Okay, so what do they forecast in terms of incidents? They forecast Millwall will dominate in the air. That's probably due to Hutch and Cooper. And Millwall will create many scoring chances. Wow. Okay. Let's move on to the next page, which is the actual prediction page. What do they predict? So they reckon it's going to be that. I'm not sure about that. Like I said, I think it's going to be Bennett up on his own with Wallace behind him. Malone's back, so that's good. Malone, I think the reason why we didn't attack on against Derby on Saturday and only had two shots on goal was because the attacking threat of Malone was stripped out of the team, and it was replaced with Murray Wallace, who isn't really attacking threat. So there you go. So we know about the injuries. They've got a couple of injuries as well, Luke Amos and Tom Carroll. It says, team news: QPR boss could make just one change with a visit of Millwall, with centre-back Jordi Davij replacing Osman KK. Sam Field should keep his place ahead of Dominic Balls in midfield. And team news for Millwall: Millwall boss Gary Rowett could move George Evans back into defence for the trip to Loftus Road. He played a lot better in defence. I don't know if it's because he was against Derby, he was getting stuck in. I think that's because it was against Derby, not because he was playing in midfield. He was really ramped up for that. It's like some scores to settle there anyway. And it says Scott Malone was ineligible to face parent club Derby on Saturday, but should return to the starting XI here. And match facts: there have been under 2.5 goals scored in QPR's last 3 games. QPR are undefeated in their last 7 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. QPR have scored at least 2 goals in their last 3 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. And the prediction, as you can see, they go for the same as David Prutton did. They copying him? They nicking it off of him? They usually do. They have the same prediction as him. They say QPR turned in one of the more disappointing performances of their season at the weekend, attempting just 4 shots on their way to a 1-0 home defeat against a struggling Huddersfield side. Rangers have won 2 of their last 3 league games and enjoy a positive recent record against Millwall. Wow, just 4 shots, that's nothing. We only had 2. And only one of them was on target. But we still won the game. Gary Rowett will be delighted with his side's response to their 2-0 defeat against Blackburn, the London club enjoying a 1-0 away victory against Derby on Saturday afternoon. The Lions have won 2 of their last 3 league games, but are out of reach of the top 6. And they say QPR 1, Millwall 1. And you can see why. I mean, you look on the side here at the players. Let me just scroll up. The ratings of the top 3 players for each team pretty similar. The goal score is pretty similar. Assists pretty similar. And we haven't won there for 32 years. So a draw would be a good result. A win would be historic and fantastic and unbelievable. But you never know. When something hasn't happened for so long, you would say you're overdue. So I think we're overdue for a win against QPR. I think we're going to win 2-1. Thank you for watching. Bye.